love this song. It's looking good. Hey, I kind of like that. All right. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Margaret. What's up? How you guys doing today? I just came across this song not that long ago, and it is fire. It is so much fun. It is called It's Looking Good by Becca Lynn. Oh, you want to talk about like lifting yourself up and like getting yourself like ready to go, especially for a photo shoot. Woo! It's a vibe, y'all. It's a state of mind. It's so good. I'm so excited to be here with you today on this Friday. We are going to talk about getting more clients in 2025. So in the comments below, say hi and tell me who wants to have more clients in 2025. Give me a hell yes. Give me a Y. Raise your hand. Let me know in the comments if you are calling in more of your ideal clients for 2025. My gosh, you guys, this is going to be so good. I'm so excited to dive in today and talk about magnetic personal brands. Us here, we are all personal branding photographers, and I know we have a lot of intelligence on what a personal brand is. We've built one of our own. We are helping our clients do the same by providing them with these incredible images that represent who they are as an entrepreneur. So I know that a ton of us are super excited about learning what a magnetic personal brand is. So I am so glad you are here today, and I am even going to share a personal story about my own business journey. Y'all know how transparent I like to be because, hey, let's be honest, we are all in this together. And this story is going to include some of my biggest mistakes and lessons that I have learned along the way since transitioning my business back in 2019 from being an Indian wedding photographer to a personal branding photographer. But before I start, I would love to hear from you. I want this to be really interactive. I want this to be a conversation, right? Not just me speaking to you. Like, I want this to be a conversation. So in the comments below, what makes a personal brand magnetic? What do you think are certain elements that make a personal brand? Like, what are you telling your clients? What have you personally taken on to create a personal brand, or even more specifically, a magnetic personal brand? Drop them in the comments below. I'm curious to see what your thoughts are when you think about what makes a personal brand magnetic. So go ahead and drop that in the comments below. Don't be shy. There's no judgment here. Just go ahead and say what's on your mind. I'm going to turn off the music. Ha! I was just going. Okay. All right, let's dive in. All right. A magnetic personal brand is not just about your logo and tagline, right? And this is like probably what you get a lot of comments on when people are first inquiring with you, like, hey, do you help me with creating my logo? Or, creating a tagline that's really, really catchy. And it's like, there's so much more to it, because a magnetic personal brand is all about building a strong, authentic identity that resonates with the people that you're here to serve. It's about making that lasting impression, creating an emotional connection, and positioning yourself as the go-to expert in your niche. So now that we've kind of defined what a magnetic personal brand is and what it's all about, what do you think are the most significant benefits of having a magnetic brand versus a regular one? Go ahead, tell me in the comments below, what do you think is a benefit of having a magnetic personal brand? Y'all are quiet. Don't be quiet. Don't be shy. Love to hear from you. Love to hear from you. Go ahead, drop them in the comments below. Okay, so if you don't know, that's okay. But when your brand is magnetic, you no longer have to chase clients. Yes, Don, I love that. Generate excitement. Absolutely. That is a beautiful benefit of having a magnetic personal brand, right? So when you no longer have to chase your clients, they're literally coming to you aligned with your values, ready to pay for what you offer. Margaret says that you're encouraged to pick you over a competitor. Yes, it helps you to stand out, right? Because they're aligned with your values and they're ready to work with you. It's not necessarily just about what you have to offer. It's literally you. You are what make your brand magnetic. And another benefit is that opportunities flow so much more easily to you, and you begin to attract the right collaborations that will help to elevate your business to new heights. So, not only are you no longer having to chase clients, but you no longer have to chase opportunities. You no longer have to chase collaborations. You literally can just be you and have everything come to you. Now, another question for you. You guys know how I love my questions. Have you ever had a moment where everything was going well in your business and then suddenly it felt like you were stuck in a rut? Maybe you were bringing in clients, but you don't feel aligned with the work, or they're just not the right clients. Or maybe you're doing all that back end work to start bringing in clients and you've got this everything set up, right? You've got your brand voice, you've got your messaging, you've got your logo, you've got your colors, because it is part of branding, right? Like we can't completely leave them behind, right? So if this has happened to you where you've had a moment where everything was going well and then suddenly it's like not, like you hit a wall, type a Y or a yes in the comments below. Let's see here. Don says, I read something the other day. It's not what you sell, provide. It's why you offer your products and services. Yes, 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 yes. Margaret says crickets. Who else has heard crickets? Yeah, crickets. The reason you're hearing crickets is because these people are not aligned with you. So I'll tell you what I've seen time and time again with my photography clients, and it's something I had to learn the hard way myself. Like when I tell you guys that I'm sharing some embarrassing things, like not just saying that for the sake of saying that, like this was really hard for me to say no. I want to share this because I want everybody to know that we're not alone, right? And it's that entrepreneurs set it and forget it. They do the hard work of creating their brand and then they just stop. They set up their brand voice, their messaging, those systems, and then they think that they're done. They can just go off, okay, I got all of my branding stuff put together. Now I can just go off and do my thing. But having a magnetic personal brand, it's kind of like growing a plant from the seed. You put in all the work into nurturing that seed to have it start to sprout and grow, and then it's like walking away from the plant saying, okay, I got you started. Now you're on your own. You got to water yourself. You got to make sure you're getting enough light. You got to open up the blinds, or make sure that you're not in the shade too much. Make sure that you're breathing in the right air, not too humid, not too dry. Like, what happens when you leave the plant alone? It dies, right? But here's the thing. Creating a magnetic personal brand is a continuous journey. It requires constant attention, refinement, and most importantly, authenticity. And just like the plant, your business needs this continuous nourishment and your attention. And the most successful entrepreneurs, they stay committed to consistently providing value, to staying aligned within their purpose, and nurturing relationships with their audience. So I'm going to take you back to when I first pivoted from weddings to branding. When I first launched this side of my business in 2019, I had a very, very clear vision of the kind of brand that I wanted to build. Now, did I know how to do it? Nope. Was I just going to put it together as I went along? Yep. And that's exactly what I did. I was focused and dedicated to creating a personal brand that would draw in the right clients. And it worked. My business took off. I went from earning $27,000 in my first year of branding to $120,000 in my second year. That's a huge jump. That's like a quantum leap jump. And this is what having a magnetic brand will do for you. But here's the twist. I lost sight of the very thing that made my brand magnetic. As I continued to grow, I became obsessed with finally making it and got caught up in the hustle and the numbers and even this desire to sustain the success that I had worked so hard to build. Now, quick little squirrel, when I was a wedding photographer, my business was never magnetic. I never had quantum leaps of growth. So the fact that I experienced this in my personal branding business honestly was scary because one, I was just blown away that I even made this jump. But then I was like, I don't know how to sustain it. And I thought that I just needed to keep grinding. So that's what I did. I just kept focused on what I was doing for my clients, and I didn't nurture my business. And here's what happened. I started to attract the wrong clients. Even though they were real estate agents, they weren't clients who were aligned with my values and my vision. And sure, they paid well, and the realization is that they were just hiring me because I was the go-to photographer in my area. They didn't care about their brand, even though they kind of told me that they did on the initial inquiry. Yes, I want to build my brand, right? I want these brand photos to build my brand. But the reality of it was they just wanted pretty pictures. And the truth of that came out during the planning process, during the photo shoot process, and on the back end when I really didn't see them implementing everything, all the value that I had given them. And honestly, it drained me. I would literally show up to photo shoots only to have clients ask me to photo things out that honestly didn't matter. And I guarantee you, nobody on social media is going to notice in their photo. Who's had that? Raise your hand. Or they would spend more time focused on everything that they don't like about having their photo taken, or how awkward they are, or how much weight that they have gained, rather than engaging with the actual process. So imagine this. Imagine you're working with a client who's paying well, but when you ask them about their brand vision, they say, I just want nice photos. Can you Photoshop that out? No. No. We can't Photoshop that out. I felt so disrespected. I was frustrated, and I could feel that I was completely misaligned. And over time, booking new clients honestly became harder and harder, despite the high number of inquiries. And I was just like, I was so confused. I was lost. I didn't understand. I didn't change anything about what I was doing on my sales calls, my process. What had really changed was the person on the other end. And that was not because of them, that was because of me. I was literally living in this underlying state of stress and burnout, wondering, like, how did I go from thriving to this? And here's the truth. Oh gosh, I did not expect this. Whew, sorry, give me a moment here. I stopped staying true to myself and my brand. I became so focused on maintaining what I had built that I lost sight of my values, my boundaries, and even my passion. I started people pleasing, and that's the exact moment that my brand started losing its magnetic pull. But here's the most important lesson that I learned. You cannot maintain a magnetic personal brand by focusing on the wrong things. A magnetic brand is authentic, it's consistent, and it's intentional. And if you want long-term success, you have to continuously nurture that. So once I realized this, I took a look back at the clients that I was working with when my business was magnetic. What was I doing with these clients that would they would literally defend me with other people that they would talk to about, like when they would be out talking to other real estate agents, they'd be like, oh my gosh, I love your content, I love your photos, who are you working with? And be like, Kimberly, like, oh my gosh, like I know her, I've heard of her, I've seen her, I looked into her. She charges way too much. I can't believe that you are paying that much to work with her. They would literally defend me. They would all say the same thing. But it's so much more than photos. Like my clients would tell me this. They would tell me these stories about these conversations that they would have as they were referring me out. And they all kept saying, it's more than just photos. And when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, that's so cool. Oh, yay. Like, right? Like, well, a little pat on the back. Like, I gave them an experience, right? But I never really understood the depth of that. Like, what does that really even mean? And so I dug into it, right? I took some time, I sat in silence, I meditated on it, I journaled on it. And what I realized is that I wasn't just helping my ideal clients create a magnetic personal brand. Because they were repeating clients and we kept working together year after year, I was actually helping them maintain their magnetic personal brand. And as I look back on that time, I can now see how I started to lose touch with my values and my why in my business. I was so focused on sustaining the success that I didn't even realize I was attracting these wrong clients. So, this is where it all clicked for me. I realized that my brand was no longer magnetic because I had stopped nurturing it. I stopped creating content that aligned with my values and really content that just focused on the end result, getting more clients. I put that over all the core values in which I had built my business for in the first place. So I have another question for you. How often do you find yourself focusing more on the what and less on the why behind your personal brand? Take a moment, reflect on that. I'm going to encourage you to speak up in the comments, okay? It's nothing to be ashamed of, and there's no judgment here. And here, in fact, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start it off, okay? I'm going to sit here and I am going to be the first one to step up and say, yeah, this was me. Sorry, that little bloop was my speaker falling off. So if you find yourself that you're focusing more on the what and less on the why, even if you don't put anything in the comments, be honest with yourself, like really, truly honest. Because it was in this realization that led me to create something that I'm really, really excited to share with you all today. If you've been around for a little while, you've known that I've put out some programs. I've kind of tested the water in this whole mentorship role after having multiple photographers continuously coming to me, asking for help, asking for my guidance, wanting to ask me questions. And I fell in love with helping them. This passion just like exploded inside of me like a volcano. And I didn't know what to do with it. So I put together all these programs and I put them out there. But I didn't know how to really do all of that. And as I was putting these programs together, I realized that there was one underlying theme that I was infusing into these programs. And it was just this. It was the nurturing side of building a magnetic personal brand. So I'm super excited to introduce to you today the Rising Photographer membership. See, I created this for photographers who are tired of feeling stuck, frustrated, and just really unsure about what the hell to do next. It's for those that want to build a personal brand that attracts ideal clients and creates that lasting momentum for your business. So if you're in business for the long term, then this membership is for you. And what you're going to get inside the membership is monthly topics and workshops. This is where we're going to deep dive into key elements that make your brand magnetic, like sales planning, personal brand strategies that you can even share with your clients to help them build a strong magnetic personal brand. And of course, we're going to be talking about things like magnetic marketing. There's also going to be hot seat calls so that you can get that personalized support and feedback to help you break through any roadblocks and gain any clarity. I'm also going to have a bunch of actionable resources, so tools, templates, and strategies that are going to help you implement what you learn and move forward with confidence. And then there's even going to be some in between support between the two calls per month, right? So this is a chance for you to get feedback or question answers between those calls, and no, it's not going to be on Facebook. So this is not a Facebook thing. This is completely off of Facebook. And these workshops and these hot seat calls, they're going to be recorded. So if you can't make it live, no problem. You can always go back and do this in your own time. Right? So let me give you just a little sneak peek at what I have planned for the next 4 months inside this membership. So December is when we're going to begin, and we're going to clear away what didn't work for you in 2024 and set really powerful goals for 2025. Then in January, we are going to focus on sales planning and pricing. That way you know exactly what offer to promote and when. Then in February, we're going to go over key elements of a magnetic personal brand to ensure that your brand is in alignment with who you are and who you want to serve. This is a big part of that nourishing part, right? And this is something that we'll revisit throughout the year a couple of times to make sure that you are continuously nurturing your magnetic brand. And then in March, I'm super excited to introduce to you guys my magnetic marketing method called the marketing tree. This is strategies that I used when my brand was magnetic. And this was something that I had like up in front of my face every single time that I went to go create content. And then I got a little egotistical about it and thinking, oh, I've had enough practice. I don't need to have this in front of my face. I've got this. It works. I'm good to go. And I just kind of went. And that's kind of like the biggest downfall of doing this completely on your own, right? Is that there's so much to focus on that we can get caught up in all these other areas of our business and leave other things behind. And that's really the reason and the mission behind this membership, is to keep these things present for you, to give you new perspectives of approaches that you can use when the things that you are doing aren't giving you the results that you were hoping for. Now, here's the best part. I'm looking for founding members. So those that want to help kind of shape this membership and go on this journey with me from the ground up, the membership is going to open up next year officially in 2025. And when I launch it, then it's going to be $40 a month or $400 a year. I think that's a pretty good deal. Like, for as much as we're going to do, like that's really not that huge of an investment. But because of you're part of my inner circle, right? Because you're here, you're in this group, you're a part of my inner circle. Love ya. You have the opportunity to join as a founding member for just $20 a month, or $200 or $240 a year for life. Like, once you lock in this price by becoming a member, this is it. Literally $20 a month. But This is limited time offer. I'm only going to accept so many founding members. And once the doors close, you're not going to be able to join again until sometime next year. And it will be at that $40 a month price. So, like, literally, this is like almost an early Black Friday special where you're getting half off the membership. So, this is your chance to take control of your brand and business, to attract those clients that you really want, and to grow in alignment with your true purpose. No more guessing, no more burnout, just actionable steps to build that magnetic personal brand that works for you. So, if you happen to be thinking, yeah, this all sounds great, but I prefer one-on-one versus a group thing, listen up, because I have one more extra special thing just for my founding members, and I'm calling this the founding member perk. My one-on-one support usually costs $250 for a 60-minute recorded call. But as a founding member, you're going to be able to lock in my exclusive rate of just $175. Literally, this is for you to use whenever you need it. This is not a, hey, you get one call at $175. No, this is $175 for as long as you are a founding member, hence founding member perk. So that's literally $75 saved every single time, but literally only for the founding members. So I'm going to put the link in the chat where maybe, hang on, if I can copy it and paste it over here. I'm going to put it in the chat. Oops, wrong button. There we go. So there is the link to join. So if you are finally ready to elevate your personal brand, right, to get the support that you need and create the business of your dreams, then click that link that I just put into the comments below and join the RPM Rising Photographer membership today so that you can rev up your business. And again, this is only going to be offered for a limited time. So the doors are going to be closed next week once I hit my limit for the founding members. So I'm curious, does anybody have any questions? I can give you a little bit more details about the membership, like when the calls are and things of that sort. So I'm going to take a big old gulp of water here and write your comments in or questions in the comments below, and I'll stay on for as long as I need to be able to answer all of your questions. Let's see. I'm going to go back up because I think that there's a couple of comments that I missed here. Yeah, Margaret says, nothing makes me sadder than branding photos that aren't used properly. Yes. Oh my gosh. Like, okay, Margaret, tell me if this is what's happening to you, because this is what happens to me. So I'm curious if it's happening to you and anybody else. So literally you go through this entire planning process, right? You're pulling all this information out of them to be able to help you create a strategy that is going to create incredible images that really reflect who they are. You have all these ideas, you implement them during the photo shoot. Energy is high, frequency is high. You're like, yes, these are so good. And like, you have all these ideas of how the image can be used and the message behind it. And you're sharing all of that with your client. And they're like, yes, 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 let's go. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is great. You're a genius, blah, blah, like whatever they say. And then you deliver and you start going on their social and there's nothing. Or they use it and it's like not at all what you guys had talked about. Like nothing, like not even close, like not even hitting the mark. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, were you not even paying attention to what was going on? Like, what the heck is that? Like, Margaret, I'm curious, like, is that like kind of what happened to you, or elaborate a little bit for me on that? And then Dawn says, yes, I had an experience recently that made me think I need to be the CEO of my business. I cannot allow the client to interfere with my process to provide favorable results. Yes, Dawn. Oh my gosh, abso-freaking-lutely. And this is it's so easy to do this, right? And all of this people pleasing, this all comes from fear, right? Like when you go back when you go through all the emotions that we experience in this human life form, right? Everything comes back to two emotions: love and fear. So people pleasing, where do you think that falls under? Ain't love. Mm-mm. No. We might think that it does, and maybe that's our brain, our tonal, like kind of screwing with us, trying to keep us safe, right? Because, or even our ego, like, oh, I'm people pleasing to show that I care about you, to show that I love you and that I want you to succeed. So I'm going to give you what you want instead of like saying true to what our mission and our purpose is. Because let's face it, like, we're not here to help everybody, right? There's not a single person on this planet that has been designed to help every single person on this planet, right? We all each have our unique values, our unique gifts, our own perspectives of things. And this is what makes us truly unique. And this is what makes us our true, authentic, best self. And anytime that we start to stray away from that, we no longer are magnetic. We literally start to, repel our clients. Oh, Dawn says I'm in. Yay, Dawn, I'm so excited to have you join the membership. Margaret, I hope that thumbs up is that you're joining us as well. I'd love to see you in there too. Let's see. Dawn says, what days, times will the live calls take place? Okay, so the workshops are going to be on the second Wednesday of every month. So the first one is going to be on December 11th. I think it's the 11th. Let me double check that before. Yeah, December 11th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the hot seat calls are going to be the last Monday of every month at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Margaret says, not a single post, or here's just a bunch of great pictures I just did, rather than strategically using them. Yeah. I've had that happen too. Yeah. It's like the whole point. It's like, why did you even come here to work with me? Right? It kind of goes back to that whole thing, like, what's your brand vision? What are you really here to do? And there's so many entrepreneurs that are literally just coming to us to get those pretty pictures. It's because they see other people in their industry or just other entrepreneurs that they look up to, that they admire. They see them going out and hiring and getting professional photos and videos done. And they're like, oh, that's what that person is doing. So, and they're successful and I'm not doing that and I'm not successful. So that must be my missing link. I must just need to go and get these pretty pictures and just start putting them out there, right? Even if it's just like one fell swoop, like, whoo, like, look at all these amazing photos that I went and did and got done and blah, blah, blah. And look at how great I look and blah, blah, whatever. It all represents my brand, blah, 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 whatever it is that they're saying. But the underlying mindset for them is just that they needed pretty photos. Not that they needed to build just any kind of brand, personal brand, but a magnetic personal brand. And this is a challenge for us photographers, right? Because what we do as branding photographers is so much more than just showing up and taking pretty photos, right? It's so much more than just posing them or ensuring that there's great lighting and on-brand props to keep everything cohesive in their marketing. Right? We really help them dig into who they are so we can draw that out of them and then photograph them. Photograph that energy, right? But if they don't have the mindset of that is the basis, the foundation of getting personal branding photos done and actually using them in our market, people just associate us with being just a photographer. And they only want to pay a photographer a small amount of money, right? So when they come to you and you're like, yeah, but it's going to cost you this, they're like, whoa, wait, like, you're just showing up and taking a bunch of pretty photos. And it's like, no, there's so much more behind it. And this is part of our marketing. This is part of our magnetic marketing, because when we put out that this is the experience, then the people that are looking to also have the same mindset as us, that know that this is the key foundational piece to bringing in more clients, to growing their business, to experiencing evolution in their business, even at quantum leap growth, it becomes a no-brainer to pay you that kind of money. But here's the thing: if we're not doing this ourselves, or we do it in the beginning and we just kind of set it and forget it and then just go on, then we're doing ourselves a disservice. It's literally self-sabotage. And we start to get into that panic, and what is it was working, and all of a sudden it's not. Why is it no longer working? And it's because you've evolved past that state, or you've reached the ceiling at that level in which you are. So you have to step out of your comfort zone, and you have to push yourself to doing new things that you've never done before. This is all part of the evolution process. So that's why this membership is here. It's to give you that support all year round. And like, this is not necessarily like a course where you go in and there's a bunch of videos, a bunch of modules that you have to go through and set aside all this. No, no. Do I have stuff like that? Yeah. If that's what you want, I got you. Hit me up with a DM and tell me what it is that you're looking for, and I'll tell you if I have something that I know can serve you. And if I don't, I'll see if I know somebody else, another photographer or another business owner that has a course that can help you. Okay? The idea of this is to keep this elegantly simple, to keep this manageable, for you to continuously nurture your personal brand all year round, to make it magnetic and keep it magnetic. Okay. Margaret says part of our strategy is where to use them and how, but then they skip that piece. Yes. Oh, so this is good, Margaret. Like, this is such a good realization. So what we need to figure out is why. What is their mindset? What is blocking them from doing it? This is where we can help our clients not only have like a true transformation, but also help you really refine your offer and your client experience. And whatever that missing piece is that you're able to identify and come up with a solution for, is going to just add another unique value proposition to your magnetic personal brand, right? And then you can start talking about that. And then you can start talking to the fact that, hey, I get it. I've had clients that come to me and get these images and then they just don't know what to do with it. We have a strategy, but they don't implement it. But here's where I step in. This is how I help you push through that and actually implement your investment back into your business so that you can have a return on investment. Yes, yes, yes. Margaret says again too, yes, I need new branding photos. Girl, you and me both. Want to come to Florida to do a swap? I feel like I do too. And what's funny about that is that in the past year, literally in the past year, I have done two photo shoots. One where I hired another photographer who kind of does branding. There's actually not a lot of photographers in my area that actually just specialize in personal branding. The majority of them are wedding photographers or family photographers or something, product photographers or some other genre that just happen to offer headshots and branding. But I had seen this girl's branding stuff before, and I really, really liked it. And her and I got along like there was this great connection. And trust me, that photo shoot was phenomenal. It was she did an incredible job. I'm still, even to this day, super happy with all of the images that she did. She took my vision and she brought it to life. The problem with these images is that I had a particular mindset. I was in a particular frequency at a specific energy level. And it just is so prominent through these images. And they really don't represent who I am anymore. Some of them do, and I still use some of them, but the majority of them really don't. So I've lost like a bunch of them. So once I started to realize this earlier this year, I went down to the studio and set up my camera on the tripod and set the timer and did a bunch of images and love those. But I also thought that I was kind of going to be changing my branding colors, which is another reason that prompted the photo shoot. So all the clothes that I'm wearing were for what those new branding colors are going to be. And yeah, that was not, yeah, I'm not using them. So it's like, okay, can I go into Photoshop and just change the color of my pants? Kind of a thing. But okay, awesome. Guys, this has been so fun. You are all amazing for coming here. The ones that have joined me live, thank you so much for blocking out the time in your day and coming in here. For those of you that are joining the membership, I am so excited to get you in there, see you in there, and be on this journey with you over this next year and beyond. Once you join, you'll get an email from me saying, welcome to the membership, give you a quick little what to expect. I'm going to be sending out more emails as we get closer to December. I realize that it's the holidays coming up and that you guys are probably got other things going on, not too concerned about, anything else other than just getting ready for the holidays and taking time off. If you don't celebrate the holidays, I hope that you are still taking some time for yourself and ways of showing gratitude and being grateful for everything that you have in your life. And for everybody that's watching the replay, thank you so much for coming back and blocking out the time when it was convenient for you to watch this replay. Depending on when you're watching this, I don't know that the doors will still be open for the founding members. So if you are looking to jump in as a founding member sooner rather than later, definitely before the end of next week. I don't have an official close date yet, but I probably will the beginning of next week, and I will let you guys know what that's going to be with a couple of days heads up to ensure that you have time to get in. But it will definitely be sometime next week before Friday. So just know that Friday is definitely going to be the last day. There's a chance that Friday's not even available. I haven't figured that part out yet. But Dawn says, you are such an inspiration and a fantastic resource. Thank you. Oh, Dawn, you are the sweetest. Thank you so much. I appreciate your love, your light, and your support. I love having you here. Okay, guys, I hope that you have an absolutely fabulous Friday. I will keep popping in over the weekend and next week onto this thread. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. You can always DM me. You can always shoot over an email to me. And I have more exciting news coming up in the following couple of weeks and months. So stay tuned and go have yourself an absolutely fabulous day. Bye, guys.